Welcome to the CondoVultures.com podcast with your host, Peter Zalewski, a Miami real estate broker, Wall Street consultant, and expert witness. This podcast is focused on identifying real estate buying opportunities in the South Florida condo market of Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. The CondoVultures.com podcast is not authorized by the South Florida real estate industry and will most likely annoy many of the region's talking heads. This podcast will feature straight talk and salty language that could be offensive to some. Please remember that past investment success does not determine future gains, especially in South Florida's volatile condo market. For more information, please visit CondoVultures.com.
Welcome to Miami Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm your host, Peter Zalewski of Condo Vultures. If you happen to buy one of these condos, you probably might consider renting it out because unless you want to live down here full time, many people who are investors are looking for second homes. They want to generate some sort of rental income. Maybe they want to play an Airbnb or home sharing type of play, but knowing the rental market isn't necessarily going to hurt you. Now, before we get into the rental market, let me lay out the rules of engagement. Rules of engagement are this. To track rental data, there's basically two ways to do it. One is you get on the phone, you call all the leasing offices throughout South Florida. You ask that person who answers what the minimum rent is, what are the incentives, what are the requirements, first, last, and security, whatever the case may be. You put all that together and you come up with statistics. Now, the person who picks up the phone on the other side is effectively giving you information which may or may not be proven to be correct. So in other words, you're doing a survey. It's no different than a political type of survey. Nobody has time to do that. Some companies go ahead and they do that. They feed it to organizations. Organizations then put it out and they claim this is a rental market. But be clear, there is no documentation that is tracked other than doing these regular surveys to track the rental information. Now, the alternative way to track rental information is to use the multiple listing service, which is what I'm doing. That is the shortcut way to do it. Now, keep in mind, many buildings that are, 400 unit complexes where they have a big sign outside that say for rent, those groups probably don't want to pay a realtor. And why is that important? Because if information is put into the multiple listing service, which is a database for real estate agents who join a club called the Realtor Association, like joining a country club or a sailing club, they pay a fee, and in return, instead of getting a dock space, if it's a sailing club, or instead of getting a golf course, if it's a golf course community or a country club, what you get is the database. The database is where you're able to offer properties for sale. But in order to put something in this database, which is the MLS, a commission has to be offered. So if you are an individual who owns or a REIT, real estate investment trust, or anything that owns a 300 unit complex, are you really going to want to pay a commission on all of those units in your particular building? What is that going to do to your bottom line? Keeping in mind that generally the rental rate commission down here in South Florida is about 10% of the gross annual, 5% going to the landlord side, 5% going to the renter side. So much of the rental information that is put out into the market, distributed in the market, there's lots of doubts about the credibility of it. So I just want to lay that out to you. Now, if it is a property that is in the MLS where the realtor stands to make a commission on it, it's giving you just a small percentage of what's really available. So I guess what I'm saying is don't trust rental data. It's the equivalent of licking your finger, holding it up, seeing which way the wind's blowing. It's as accurate as can be. Why? Because there's no recording necessary. In terms of government records, there's no place to go and actually track down a number. It's all sort of hearsay or surveys, much like the political surveys or polls that are done prior to an election. So that being said, let's get into the rental data for the multiple listing service, which is what I pull. Now, we're going to have about 11,600 properties that are currently for rent in the Tri-County South Florida area where commissions are going to be paid. That means realtors are involved. Now, what kind of properties are they? It's going to be apartments. It's going to be condos. It's going to be efficiencies, multifamily, and townhouses. We're not including single family houses. We're also not including properties where commissions are not paid, i.e. a property with a sign in front that says for rent and they have multiple units for rent, and or one of those places where some guy's like flipping a sign trying to get your attention, or there's like a wind sort of character blowing in the wind, going back and forth with the traffic to get your attention. Chances are those places are not going to be in these statistics that I'm referring to. So 11,600 places for rent in South Florida, Tri-County, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties. Median. Now, don't use average when you're using rentals because there's too much stuff in there. You could have daily rentals. You could have weekly rentals. You could have monthly rentals. You could have annual rentals. Trying to go through and differentiate what's what is just going to be a fool's errand. So what we do is we simply use median. Median is a number kind of right in the middle. So median rental price, ask $3,350 a place, $3,350 a month rent for a place in South Florida. And on a median per square foot basis, remember I told you, Liz, you're buying gasoline, you want to know how much is it per gallon. Well, the median rental asking price is $325 a foot. That means 1,000 square foot place should be going off for well north of $3,000. And those places that are on the market, median number of days in the market, 41 days. Now, in terms of places under contract, not yet designated as rented in the multiple listing service, we got just over 4,700 pending deals with a median price of $2,500. Remember, median ask is 3,350. The median rental price for those that are under contract is $2,500. So you can see people are very price sensitive. And then in terms of price per square foot monthly, $247 a foot is the median asking price for those under contract versus the overall median asking price, $325 a foot. And the units that are under contract, they were there 24 days versus those currently on the market, been there on a median basis, 41 days. So again, price sensitivity. Those individuals who are pricing the places appropriately, they're going to see action. The ones that have pie in the sky dreams and hopes of what a place could rent for, they're going to have a little bit more of a slower haul. They're trying to pull off a deal. Now, finally, rentals. We've had 37,600 rentals completed in the first 9 months of 2022. Again, where commissions are involved. Remember, because they're in the multiple listing service. They do not include the big buildings that say for rent on the outside. Median rental price for one of these 37,600 that rented in the first 9 months of the year, $2,300, $2,300. And what is that on a per square foot basis? $267 a foot. And then finally, the place is rented in 21 days. Now, what does it mean statistically in terms of the spreads between the ask and the actual transaction price? About 46% premium landlords are asking today versus what they rented for in the first 9 months of the year. On a price per square foot basis, about 22% spread between the median asking price versus the median transaction price in South Florida in the first 9 months of the year. And then again, days on market, 41 days on the market is what the median number of days is for a place currently for rent versus those that rented 21 days. And then finally, we had 4,177 rentals completed monthly in the first 9 months of the year in South Florida, 4,177. If I take that number, I divide it into what's currently on the market, which is 11,600. I work out with about 2.8 months of supply, keeping in mind 6 months is equilibrium. Anything greater than 6 months means the tenant or the renter has the advantage. Anything less than 6 months means the landlord has the advantage. Therefore, the rental market, based on where properties are listed and a commission is being paid, is currently a landlord's market. So that would give them the advantage. But keep in mind, again, I'm recording this in December, so we are right in the beginning stages of what is the winter tourism season or the buying season, if you will, down here in South Florida. So those are the statistics. That's what's currently going on in South Florida. If you have any questions for us, please send an email to inquiry@condovultures.com. So until next time, take care of yourself. We'll catch up very soon. Ciao, ciao.
It's a simple formula and it works. Buy low, sell high. We're Condo Vultures, and when it comes to your real estate, we help you buy low. At Condo Vultures, we represent the buyer, and now's the time to buy. Log on to condovultures.com for more information. condovultures.com. And remember, before you sell high, you have to buy low. Featured in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, 60 Minutes, and Time Magazine. Condo Vultures Realty, a licensed Florida real estate brokerage capitalizing on the condo correction since 2006.